Every other life form except humans seems to operate simply by instinct in the genetic code. In the winter, the goose lies south how often? Answer: every winter. If you said to the goose, hey, it'd be better this year to go west, he ignores that advice. And the reason is because he cannot make choices and listen to advice of something that might be better. He has to obey instinct and the genetic code. But now jot this down. Not human beings. Human beings can alter the course of their life. Human beings can live one way for 5 years, tear up that script, live a totally different way the next 5 years. The first 6 years of my economic life, I wound up broke. Second 6 years, I wound up rich. Someone says, how did you do that? Here's number 1. I discovered I was not a goose. Someone says, don't you have to do the second 6 years like you did the first 6 years? And jot this down. No, you don't have to live the second 6 years like the first 6. You can use all the information and all the advice and repairing all of your mistakes and adopting a new and refined philosophy so that the next 6 years can be totally different than the last 6. No other life form can do this. See, if you were a tree, you'd be stuck as a tree. If you used up all the nourishment that was around you and you couldn't change location, see, you would die. But that's not true. Human beings can change location. Go north, south, east, west. Live here for a while, live somewhere else for a while. So that's a note to make. You can greatly alter the course of your life. Now here's the next note to make. 5 years from now, you will arrive. The question is where? This is for mature people. Now, if you keep up your present disciplines and keep up the present pace that you're on, where will you be in 5 years? Boy, it's easy to say, hey, I haven't really thought about that. So now make this note. In 5 years, here's the probability you will either arrive at a well-designed destination or an undesigned destination, well-designed or undesigned. And I promise you, 5 years from now, you really don't want to arrive at an undesigned destination because you may very well wind up wearing what you don't want to wear, driving what you don't want to drive, living where you don't want to live, maybe doing what you don't want to do, simply because you didn't design a better destination. Key phrase up front. The decisions are easy now. Sometimes after we've lived a few years now, to repair our mistakes and get back on track seems like a tough job. If you've messed up your health for 10 years, I'm telling you, it takes more than 10 days to get it back. But here's the key, and it's so exciting to talk to the teenagers. Make the note, if you start early, the fortune belongs to you. If you start early, all fortunes that are available to humans. If you start early, the promise looms large and the odds are heavy in your favor. Now, yes, it's possible to do some radical things starting late and still arrive with some good treasures and some good things. But when you haven't got that much time left now, sometimes the decisions have to be so drastic people are not willing to make it. And they're too tired and too weary and too ill and say, look, I don't have much time left. It's not going to happen for me anyway. It's easy to take that attitude. But everyone here, we've got the time over the next 10 years. We've got the time the next 20 years. We've got the time the next 30 years to make some repair now in our errors of the past and set up some new disciplines. And I'm telling you, that's going to change everything. So 5 years from now, I wish for you to arrive at a well-designed place, a place of productivity, a place that'll make you feel good about yourself, a place that'll give you honor and respect, a place that'll give you influence to touch other people. 5 years from now that you couldn't do today, where will you be in 5 years? Key phrase. We go to the direction we face. If you start designing something at the end of this direction, sure enough, you will start going the direction you face, and we face the direction we design. Next phrase. Direction determines destination. Destination is not determined by hope. It's not determined by wish. Destination is determined by direction. You cannot change destination overnight, which means you can't arrive at a 5 years from now place tomorrow. But here's what you can change today and overnight. You can change direction. And it is so fascinating what a little small change of direction will do. Let's say that you're here and you're headed this way, and 5 years from now you'll wind up here. But here's how we individually can arrive at a new destination. Maybe right now by discipline or lack of discipline or direction. You're headed this way, But it wouldn't take much to change direction and head this way so that in 5 years you wind up here instead of here. And the difference now of getting off this track and getting on this track is not much. A few decisions in discipline, a few decisions in learning, a few decisions in change of behavior, change of habit, a few decisions in setting goals that you've sort of let drift before. Like I did at age 25, didn't have a I immediately started to change that, and I immediately started to change my direction so that very quickly I started heading this direction. In less than 7 years, I was a millionaire. And that was just my economics. And sure enough, when I met my mentor, I was headed this way, and here's where I would have been in 5 or 6 years. Maybe okay, my kids probably wouldn't have been starving, and maybe, we got clothes to wear and a place to live. But the joy of productivity and the joy of becoming valuable to the marketplace and more valuable to my family and valuable to my friends and my inner circle, all of that probably would have escaped me if I would have kept going this way. But I am so thankful for the circumstances and whatever else arranged it for me. Some things are arranged, we don't even know how they've occurred for you to be here. Do you imagine the chain of circumstances that caused you to be able to sit in this auditorium today? It's amazing. This had to happen, and this had to happen, and this door had to close, and this door had to open, and all of those things for me to be here, for you to... I just didn't drop out of the sky, right? And you arrived here from all kinds of directions. Here we are. And so we just say, wow. Part of that's a mystery, and we let it be a mystery. We don't even try to figure it out. We just say, wow, it's incredible. But now that we're here, how could we collectively and individually affect each other's lives? It's by doing just what we've done. Study, learn, teach, shake hands, trade stories, and do all the stuff so that we can help other people as well as ourselves to make that small journey to a new direction. So jot that down. It's only a small journey to a new direction. Guess how quickly you can change your health by starting to eat an apple a day. Mama said an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Let's say you've been out long enough and you've had health problems long enough and you say, that's it. That's over. I'm going to now start a program. You don't have to really revolutionize your whole health life. Just start with an apple a day. You say, well, is it that simple to change your health life? And the answer is yes. The key is just to start. You pick up a book on good health and you get halfway through the book and it says, now, dear reader, set this book aside, fall down on the floor and see how many push-ups you can do. And then it goes on to say, and if you have not done that, why not give this book away? It looks like you're not going to do it. Come on, you don't have to radically do something. You can gain momentum and make changes as you go. Just start. Here's what happens when you start a new direction. Self-esteem starts to accelerate. It doesn't take much for you to feel good about yourself. Just committed to a new direction and you feel good, and an apple a day, committed to finally having a health program that'll make you the healthiest you've ever been. In the next 20 years, all you gotta do is munch on that first apple and nobody even has to be around. And you don't have to announce it to the world, but you munch on that first apple and say, this is the beginning of developing a health program that's gonna make me so healthy. I'll have the vitality to do whatever I want to do for the next 30 years of my life. Now, if you eat an apple the second day, you become almost delirious saying, wow, I'm on my way. Somebody said just 2 apples says, look, you don't understand. Not only did I do it yesterday, I've done it again today. This is really proven to myself with no audience, no microphones, no nothing. Just you and yourself. You've convinced yourself I'm on my way to the healthiest I ever have been. I'm starting a new life. This is the second day I'm on my way. That's how easy it is to change your life. You don't need some dramatic vision. Just begin something, and maybe by health or by whatever other things we can think of to do, you just get back on a better track, okay? It's a small journey to changing direction. I tell the story of Lydia Cologne, who started her business with $1. When she made her first sales, she didn't have any product to deliver. She had to take the customer's money, go get the product, come back and deliver it. But she said, when I figured out how to do that, she said my ambition soared. Not at the end of the year of some major, huge accomplishment. I've showed this person this brochure. They want the products. I've got to tell them my story. Why? I don't have any. I'll get the product delivered, make a small profit. She figured that out, and she said just that occasion, which is probably not more than 30, 40 minutes long, and her ambition soared. She just simply said, if I did this once, I can do it again, and then I can do it again. So it doesn't take some huge year-long project of achievement for your ambition to soar or your confidence to catch fire. All it takes is some attention to detail. Figure out something, use your ingenuity, let your skill level reach up to meet what ambition you have at the moment. And sure enough, then the day you say, I'm going to change my health with my diet and all the rest, and I've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Why not start with an apple? And the day you start with that first apple, your attitude can change, your self-esteem can change, and you can honestly say, I'm on my way. I'm never going to be the same again. I'm not going to walk the old road anymore. I'm going a new way. It just doesn't take much. An apple can do it. It is possible to start with the dollar and become a millionaire. It is possible. It is possible to start with nothing and become something. I've been doing a subject recently. Here's the title of it. How to turn nothing into something. How to turn nothing into something. And here's a little gist of what I've been covering. First, to turn nothing into something, you start with ideas and imagination. Now, it's hard to call ideas and imagination. Nothing. How tangible are ideas and imagination? It's a bit of a mystery. So you can't really call ideas that can be turned into a hotel, ideas that can be turned into an enterprise, ideas that can be turned into the salt vaccine, ideas that can be turned into miracle products, ideas you couldn't really call the idea nothing. It must have some kind of substance, and imagination can't really be nothing. We call it nothing because it isn't tangible. It isn't like a podium. It isn't that real, but it is almost real. So to turn nothing into something, you start with ideas and imagination. Interesting ideas that become so powerful in your mind and your consciousness. They seem real to you even before they become tangible. Imagination that is so strong that you can actually see it. You can actually see it. When I built my first home for my family in Idaho all those years ago, before I started construction on this home, I used to take my friends and associates out to the vacant property and take them on a tour through the house. Is that possible? Is it possible to take someone on a tour through an imaginary house? And the answer is yes. I used to say, this is the 3-car garage, and the guy would look and say, yes, this garage will hold 3 cars. I mean, I could really make it real, make it live. I would take them on a tour through the house. Here's the fireplace, and this fireplace is brick on one side and it's stone on the other side. I could make it real. Here's the rest of the house. Here's the kitchen with this view window, and they would look out the window as I took them on this tour. One day I made this house so real. One of my friends bumped his elbow on the fireplace. I mean, it was that real. So imagination, we call it nothing, simply because nothing in terms of being tangible. But it is so real, it's almost real. So the first step is to imagine the possibilities. Imagine the possibilities. One of the reasons for seminars and sermons and the lyrics from songs and testimonials of others is to give us an idea of the possibilities, to imagine the possibilities. Now here's the second step of turning nothing into something, and that is to believe that what you imagine is possible for you. To believe that what you imagine is possible for you. And we become supported by testimonials that say something like, if I can do it, you can do it. And we start believing that. First, we imagine what's possible. Second, we start to believe that what's possible is possible for us. We might also believe because of our own testimonial. Here's what our testimonial might say: if I did it once, but I could do it again. If it happened for me before, it could very well happen again. So we believe not only the testimonials of others who say, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can change, you can change. If I can start with nothing, you can start with nothing. If I can turn it all around, you can turn it all around. Then we also have the support of our own testimonial. If we've accomplished something before, if we did it once, we can do it again. If we did it last year, we could do it this year. So those two things are very powerful now. They're not actual substance, although they're very close. One is to imagine the possibilities. Two is to imagine that what's possible is possible for you. Here's what we call that second step: faith to believe. In fact, one writer said this faith is substance. An interesting word, that the powerful ability to believe in the possibilities that are possible for you. You have faith to believe that faith is substance, meaning a piece of the real. Now it's not the real, it's not the podium, but it is so powerful that it's so close to being real. So the writer said the faith is a piece of the substance of, and then he called it evidence. Substance and evidence. So it's difficult to call substance and evidence nothing. It is nothing in the sense that it can't be seen except with the inner eye. You can't get a hold of it because it isn't yet tangible. But it is possible to turn nothing, especially ideas and imagination. Now, if you believe that it's possible for you that substance and evidence become so powerful that it now can be turned into reality. So the first step is to imagine what's possible. Second step, to believe that what's possible is possible for you. Now here's the third step, and that is to go to work and make it real. You go to work and make it a hotel. You go to work and make it an enterprise. You go to work and make it good health. You go to work and make it an association. You go to work and make it a good marriage. Go to work and make it a movement. You make it tangible. You make it viable. You breathe life into it, and then you construct it. That is such a powerful ability for all of us as human beings. I just wanted to take the time to drop that in before I move on to so many other subjects. How to turn nothing into something. Now here's the last part. It takes the disciplined activity to turn nothing into something. Finally, faith without the activity serves no useful purpose. But faith invested into the activity creates reality. Once I understood that, I knew. Then it was possible to build a career. I knew it was possible to build good health. I knew it was possible to build a relationship. I knew I could participate in the constructing of valuable things, valuable enterprises, valuable things that would help and benefit other people. I knew I could be part of it, and I knew I could do it once I understood this formula. So here's the last part. Now appreciate now the disciplines that turns imagination into reality. Because without the disciplines, it doesn't work. The discipline is the last piece of the miracle process. The last piece of the miracle process is to do the work of good health, to do the work of a relationship, to do the work of building this hotel.
da da.